The next topic is commerce and its nature. Earlier in the first chapter, I may have told you the meaning of commerce. Commerce means all those process or activities which are involved from the time of production to the time of consumption. That is, goods are produced, manufactured, transported, stored or warehousing, banking, insurance, advertisement. These are all activities involved in commerce. Without these, goods cannot reach the consumer. You may be purchasing goods by seeing an ad and you are induced, attracted, forced sometimes to purchase that product because they advertise in such a manner that you are attracted with its features that they tell you. You want to consume, you want to use, you want to try, and thus it helps in sale of goods. Meaning, you may mark in the book yourself, though I have already done with earlier in the month of May. Commerce refers to all those activities which are necessary for bringing goods from the place of production to the place of consumption. It includes not only trade but also services such as transportation or transport, warehousing, packaging, insurance, banking and sales promotion. Sales promotion is another word for advertising, which are incidental or auxiliaries to trade, which are related or linked with trade. When trade takes place, these all activities help to exchange goods from the place of production to the place of consumption. The main features of commerce. So another question on that. What explain the features of commerce? First, second, third, fourth and fifth. You mark them in your book with your pencil and then you may write them in the fair copy. First one is economic activity. Now the word when economic comes, it relates to earning of money. If you recall, in the first chapter we have done economic activities. All those activities which are conducted by human beings to earn money is called economic activity. So commerce is also an economic activity because it consists of activities which are undertaken for earning profits in terms of money. Exchange of goods and services. Naturally, commerce involves exchange and distribution of goods and services. Goods may be purchased or produced for sale. It is not produced or manufactured for self-consumption. They are produced or manufactured for the purpose of selling them. That's why it is then in return they take money. That's called exchange of goods. Profit motive. Every businessman who starts the business, his or her main motive is to earn profits. So the motive of commercial activities is to earn profits. Any activity which does not have the object, aim of profit will not be part of commerce or trade. The regularity of transaction. In an isolated transaction does not imply commerce. That is, if you purchase once only and sell the product once only or twice, it is not a business, it is not commerce, as I told in accounts. Repeated transactions of purchase and sale and providing goods and services is called business or commerce now. 10. Creation of utilities. Commerce creates several types of utilities. Its utilization, how it is used. It creates place utility. Now what is place utility? Transportation of goods from the place of production to the place of consumption or from the place of surplus to the place of scarcity is called place utility. That means goods are made available from excess supply of goods to the place where scarcity of goods is there. It makes goods available as and when demanded, thereby creating time utility. That is, goods are stored in warehouses and throughout the year it is available whenever the retailer or wholesaler or the consumer demand. They are made available immediately. By creating these utilities, commerce helps to increase the volume of trade. Then we have functions and importance of commerce. There are certain barriers between the producer, manufacturer and the consumers. Commerce helps to remove these barriers, these hindrances. The first one says hindrance of person, that is the consumer. The goods are produced for the consumer. Since there is no contact between the producer and the consumer, because the producer may be in the outskirts of the city or somewhere far away from the place of the consumer. He cannot come in contact with them directly. So commerce helps to remove this hindrance of person. How? This hindrance refers to lack of contact between the producers and consumers. The producer is faced with the problem finding the customers or the buyers who need the goods he has produced and who are able and willing to purchase such goods. Commerce removes the hindrance of goods which would satisfy his needs at price. Commerce removes the hindrance by means of trade. What is trade? Exchange of goods for money is called trade. Trade provides an organized market, a market which is at a particular place where the prices are set. Like we say mandi. In Hindi we say mandi. It can be a vegetable mandi, it can be a fruit mandi, it can be a pulses, rice. These are particular place where goods are available in large quantities. So the wholesalers, dealers may purchase goods from there and supply them to the retailers where you purchase them in small quantities, where the buyers and sellers can contact each other. Then hindrance of place. A major problem faced by producers is to send their goods to distant places without loss through theft. Pilferage means stealing of small amount of goods, damage, etc. Commerce solved this problem by means of transportation, packing and insurance. That is, goods are easily carried from one place to another. The producer cannot supply them, transport them himself. So he need some person or persons to transport them, like middlemen, agents or some transportation agencies which deliver the goods from one place to another. Packing, goods are covered or packed in such a way so that they are not spoiled or damaged. So they are safe within boxes. Insurance, that is, they are insured. Money can be compensated when there is a risk of loss from theft, fire, accident. Modern means of transport carry goods to far off places quickly and safely. Packing of goods help to preserve their quality in transit and storage. Then third, hindrance of time. In modern industry, goods are produced on a large scale in anticipation of a demand. There is usually a time gap between the production and consumption of goods. Therefore, it becomes necessary to store the goods until they are sold. This problem is solved by warehousing or storing. Warehouses provide suitable storage facilities to protect the goods from fire, rain, pests, etc. Now there are so many goods which are required during rainy season, winter season or during summers. But their production goes on throughout the year. But the demand is only at a particular time. So they have to be stored, kept somewhere and protect them from getting spoiled, from rain, from fire, from pests. These are hindrance of time. Then hindrance of exchange, that is exchange of goods with money. Buying and selling of goods between persons living in different places requires a common medium of payment. In India we say rupees. Money serves as a common medium of payment. That is, when you purchase some goods, you give some cash, rupees, coins in exchange of the product or in exchange of the services. Businessmen can send money from one place to another in the form of bank draft. That is, they don't have to pay in cash. Bank is there to help them to make the payment. There are some facilities given by the bank. You have to open an account in the bank. A businessman opens a current account. So you can make a payment from your account or through your account by drawing or issuing a bank draft. Now we have quick transactions or electronic transactions. Money can be transferred through NEFT and RTGS. That we will do in class 12 in detail. I'm just telling you the terms, but we will do in detail in class 12. Then you can make the payment by checks, etc. without facing any risk or loss. Banks also provide credit in the form of overdraft. That means you can take loan of small amount because you are a customer or client of the bank, so they allow you to borrow some money in small quantity for a small period of time. Letter of credit, cash credit, discounting of bills, etc. And the fifth, hindrance of risk. During transportation and storage, there are several possibilities of loss or damage of goods. There also exists risk of theft, burglary or deterioration, spoilage, fire, etc. These risks or losses cause anxiety among businessmen and discourage them from investing money in business. Insurance. So the commerce, there is one of the activity that insurance helps to remove the hindrance of risk or losses by compensating businessmen for financial loss. If the businessman has taken a insurance risk against his business for his goods, for his office building, for his factory, against fire, theft, then the insurance company at the time of loss due to fire or theft will compensate to the extent of loss only. Thus, the businessman is in good financial position. He does not have to bear all the losses all by himself. So write the answers in your copy. What is commerce? Features of commerce, function, importance of commerce. That is all for today.